Yes, welcome. Bahati Hilda Sabiti, and this is a safe space where we talk about narcissistic relationships, difficult relationships, and toxic relationships. Anything that is really that involves high conflicts and antagonistic kind of approaches, we talk about. Yes, we talk about building happy marriages and creating happy families, and I'm all for happiness. I live for happiness. I live for love, okay, and not just saying it but putting it in actions. I believe that's the best thing that anyone can do for you. So yes, today I've actually been doing some thinking, and I was just thinking about the narcissists and the things that they have to endure. When you look at a narcissist and they're having a good life, or they're getting a new supply, or they are moving on with their lives, and it seems like nothing gets to them. It seems like everything is okay for them, and they are only creating chaos and creating a bad life for other people. That is what we tend to think, and that is why I usually tell people never envy a narcissist, because a narcissist creates their own kind of hell on earth, and they have to endure it. And I just want us to briefly three things that they have to endure, but keep it in mind that their karma is inbuilt. Like it, when something comes inbuilt, like it's within their kind of lifestyle. So it will always be payback for them, and so you don't have to be there and pray bad things and wish bad things. And by the virtue of the fact that they behave the way they behave in people's lives, and most so in good to jeopardize good lives, generous lives, because remember we talked about the people that attract narcissists, and these are generous people, very kind people, people that have worked so hard to get to where they want, people that are in a celebrity kind of lifestyle, people that have have a moral kind of compass, and they have a religion backed kind of lifestyle, and they are rescuers, they are generous, they are kind. Those are the people that narcissists are target, and those are the people that actually attract narcissists. Now remember, these people, the narcissists, will keep jeopardizing these people's lives, but their karma is inbuilt, that they cannot escape it. Never, they cannot escape it. And this is not me wishing them bad, and I have never sat down to wish anyone bad. Why? Because that's it's not worth it. Like, it just doesn't lead you anywhere. Even when someone does the worst thing on earth, the best thing you can do is love yourself, walk away or exclude yourself from such a situation, and start on your healing journey. Forgive, okay, and start on your healing journey. But again, never forget, I want you to have it at the back of your mind that their karma is inbuilt, and it will catch up with them one way or another. And because they never want to change, and you can never change someone who does not want change for themselves, because so many people who are trying to cope and who are trying to make it work so bad have told me time and again, I know, maybe if I pray for him, maybe if I pray for her, maybe if I do this. So we tend to over audition, okay? Like, we want so bad to be loved by these people, and remember, their love is sweet and bitter at the same time. While they are devaluing you and minimizing you and dismissing you and gaslighting you, when the love bombing comes, it is quite huge, okay? When the hoovering comes, they're outdoing themselves just to make sure that they get you back, or you get them back into your good books. So you see how it's just never predictable at all when it comes to their lives. So and then their need for control outweighs any need for salvation or for change, because most people, most empaths, and most people that either get married or are in relationships or are in families or workplaces where narcissistic tendencies are prevailing, most times people want to save them. Oh, if I do this, maybe it will rescue them. Oh, they will be fine if I do this. But again, their need for control outweighs their need for salvation, and it's like a curse that can never be changed by anyone. Someone has to want to change, but it's not in them to want to change. So they are their own best enemy, okay, and there's nothing much you are going to do about that. And then Yes, I know the fear being left alone, but again, those are some of the things that they have to endure. Let's just dive right into them so that we know what they are. Number one, they can never be satisfied. Never be satisfied. And a life that lacks contentment is a life of turmoil, is a life that doesn't have peace, is a life that doesn't have any good in it. Okay, so if you are the kind, if you are listening to this and you're a narcissist, and it's very hard, by the way, very rare that a narcissist will listen to this kind of message. No, it will be people that want to heal that will listen to this kind of message. And the reason as to why it will be very important is when you have it at the back of your mind, then you stop fighting, or you stop doing the things that you were not supposed to do in the first place or to begin with. Okay, so you have to know that these people will never be satisfied, and that alone is a punishment. That alone, because they jump from one thing to another. They will want to date another person's girlfriend or another person's man. They will want to even when they have you ever heard of this statement where people keep saying, I mean, what don't I give her? I mean, I've given her everything, I've given him everything. Why is it that they never get satisfied? It's just in them. They will never, and they will never be satisfied. Okay, so inside them, there's this insatiable hunger and thirst, okay, for control and for power, and for whoever provides a narcissistic supply, they jump onto that. Okay, so because they're never satisfied, and it's this appetite that can never be satisfied, and it's just a compounding effect over time that happens. It's the greed that can never be quenched, okay, and the thirst that can never be quenched. So you see, this is a punishment of itself. If you are dealing with one, you know what I am talking about. Let's go to number two. I will not dwell on that for a long time. And this is the constant fear. The constant fear that a narcissist lives in. It's very bad, okay, and it kills, it stresses. Why? Because every time they are either thinking they're going to be found out because they're doing something wrong. You know, a person who looks over their shoulder all the time because they are not safe. They keep doing all these bad things, and then they don't want people to find them. And then when they are found out, then they start crying, they start kneeling, they start begging for forgiveness, but all those are crocodile tears. Because if you have lived long enough with a narcissist, you will realize that even after they cry and after they swear they will never do it again, the next time they will do something even worse than they did before. So you see the paranoia that is in this, that the lack of peace that is in this, that alone is punishment on earth. Before you even go anywhere else, it is punishment, okay? Because someone is tiptoeing. They will find out, they will find my flirting messages, they will find out I'm cheating with so and so. They're trying to cover up because there's a lot of lies that they do to make sure that they keep their pieces together. So they live in constant fear. And let's just go to the last one that I will talk about for now, and that is the perpetual disappointment that they have to live in. Okay, the intense kind of abandonment issues that they have, because sooner or later people get tired. Sooner or later, the people that have been fueling and giving them the narcissistic supply get tired. They find out, just like you found out, or just like anyone will find out. So that means that you lose someone, and you know, hell breaks loose. You go into a smearing campaign, you bring your flying monkeys, you do all these things only to do it all over again. Why? Because you do not have the guts to change your life, or they do not have the strength to make that decision that they want to change. So they live in a life of disappointment, perpetual disappointment, and that also is a punishment right here on earth. Okay, and they set themselves up for this disappointment. No one sets them up for the disappointment, and they get what they want sometimes, but not all the times. So if you are not going to get what you want all the time, then you're going to live a life of disappointment, just like we've talked about. So I mean, they will start off with people who don't know who they are, but after you're with them for a few years, then you get to discover that this is the kind of person I am dealing with. When you discover that this is the kind of person you're dealing with, then you start to withdraw your emotions. We'll talk about how to break free in the next video, when you are trying so hard to break free from the narcissist, and see how that goes. But until then, just know that these people have inbuilt karma, and these things they have to go through day in, day out. They are never satisfied. They live in perpetual fear, and then they live a life of perpetual disappointment. Like all the time they are disappointed because they will never get everything that they want, and that alone is punishment. Okay, so until the next video, keep yourself safe and happy.